What's up, everyone? Welcome into More Important Issues, episode 301. We hit the century mark, so 301 is not that cool anymore. More Important Issues is brought to you by our sponsors, Tennessee Tap House, Hound Dogs, Billy Ratliff's Tap 40 Grill, and Blue Water Climate Control. And here's a quick word from our good friends at Blue Water Climate Control.
People always ask, where did we get the name Blue Water Climate Control? When a Navy ship casts off lines, exits the harbor, and loses sight of land, that's blue water sailing. It takes a team of people to do that. Tireless work, focus, and attention to detail. So much of starting a business is just like that. After it's done, you get filled with deep satisfaction for accomplishing something. And it's quickly followed by, now the real work begins. We're Blue Water Climate Control.
Are back.
Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee, Juwan, Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre, and Tennessee can say hello win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Sunday, August 22nd. Hope everyone has had another great weekend as we get closer and closer to football season. Kind of felt even more like the real deal, and it actually did remind me how much. Like, I told you when we had that Hall of Fame game, it's like this kind of sucks, but at least it's football. Then you get reminded how much worse preseason football is when you see full speed, full tilt football. I know it's high school, but you get reminded that it's definitely not the real deal.
Yeah, I just tweeted football is kind of back.
It's in my mind, it's fully back. There are regular season games of some kind being played, right?
Yeah, it's just not high school football is great. I love that. But preseason football is just
not the same.
Yeah.
Not the same, for sure.
And then, college is the best of all three. So
you're going to piss people off with that comment, which is fine. I love it. But some people don't agree.
Oh, people think NFL is better than college?
Well, and their argument is, sorry, I'm trying to figure out this Chargers game on. Just turned on the TV there. Just people, they go off which ones has better talent, which is obviously the NFL. Mm-hmm. We talked about this on NBA. People were like, college basketball is so much worse than the NBA. Well, yeah, the talent pool is just completely different. Right. And also, they usually get better when they're in the NBA. Same thing for the NFL.
Yeah, I just think the whole entire atmosphere of college football makes it so much better than NFL. So if you say NFL is better, that's your opinion, but you're wrong. So
I like college football better, not necessarily for the football. Obviously, I like good college football, so there's a difference.
Right.
Well, not Tennessee, but
a lot of people up north think that too, because the South is just a different animal when it comes to somebody just said, is this a real show? Yeah, it's a real show.
It's not.
It's fake show. Fictional.
I don't view it as a real show, so watch you. But yeah, no, it's just obviously the talent's better. I did want to turn on the LA game and see if Josh Palmer, see what's going on with him.
Yeah, we're about to talk about. Yeah, we're about to talk about receivers, and I won't get into it too much. But yeah, losing your best receiver and then having to replace his production, which it should have been a lot more, but unfortunately, quarterback play has a lot to do with receivers' production.
Yeah, that is the way it goes. Position previews, like Landon said, we're doing receivers. Going to talk some QB. QB room is changed a little bit. Some guys a guy's exited, so we'll talk more about that. Looking at the schedule for this year and how it kind of sets up for this Tennessee team in 2021. Also discuss some of the high school football. We had Eric Kane on Wednesday to preview it, kind of discuss some of those games. There were some maybe teams that and one of them actually got kind of thrown in there by Eric on Wednesday. You asked for teams that maybe aren't on people's radars that could have good seasons. He mentioned Carter. and pretty big win to open up the season. So if you got questions, drop them in the chat. Credence, good to have you in, man. He said he's going to meet Evan Russell on his B-Day. Happy birthday. Don't know when that is, but hope it's a good one. Yeah. And then, of course, our segments. Let's get right into it. Let's talk receivers.
Let's do it. I mean, this group is a group that I think everybody's pretty excited about, especially when the hope is you're getting better quarterback play this season. Ton of talent, a lot of unproven talent, but a lot of speed. And so you just kind of get more excited with the offense that Heupel's running with the speed you have on the outside. Yeah,
and I would say, this is definitely the group people expect the most out of on the offensive side, but it's so dependent on one guy.
Yeah.
Because you can have all the speed, you can have the guys getting into space and things but it doesn't matter if you can't get the ball to them. I think there is. I think there's a lot of talent in at least your first probably 4 or 5 guys. After that, we can talk, but I think there's a ton of talent, especially when you talk about the thing that offenses nowadays, look to do and getting behind you a lot, and that's speed. Tennessee's got 2 of the fastest guys in the league, and they've got to figure out, how to capitalize that. I doubt they both fall 1 and 2, but they're up there for definitely for the speed. Now, how can you utilize it? If here's the thing too, like to the coaching staff, even if your quarterback play isn't great, you still have to find ways to get those guys the ball. You have to find ways. It can't just be, oh, well, they're not good enough. That is what it is. No, you have these guys on your roster. You've got to find ways to get them the ball if you want to be any kind of impactful, even if your quarterback's not great.
Yeah, and I was looking at Juwan Jennings' college stats today, and in 2019, he had 969 yards with, there wasn't great quarterback play in that season either. Does that make it so much more impressive that he almost had 1,000 yards with JG at quarterback? I think it does.
Yeah, that's a good point. A
lot of those, like it wasn't like he was wide open. And you see, like he doesn't have the speed. He just wanted it more and broke a ton of tackles on his way to finding the end zone quite a bit of times. I think 8 times in that season.
Right. Well, I think that kind of plays into like some of these receivers that Tennessee's had lately. You're like, look at what they did without a guy that could get them the ball consistently.
Yeah,
it's like that says something to them. To the talent they have. Juwan Jennings maybe find his way on an NFL roster this year. Struggled last year. Maybe some injuries, right? Early on when he was on the practice squad. So maybe this year is kind of a year for him to fit in nicely. But yeah, I think, and it's going to be the same with this group. I don't know if you have another Juwan Jennings. But the thing is Juwan wasn't just the most talented guy on the field. He was just a dog. What did they say about him? It was like some quote that was pretty good. It was like, he's an old school football player. He's just, and then he inserted an adjective there, but I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember what it was either. I do know what you're talking about because my wife actually saw that and was telling me about it, but I don't know what the comment was.
Yeah, I don't know if you have guys like that. And Graham Morgan mentioned Jennings caught more 50-50 balls. And again, he wasn't the tallest guy out there. He wasn't the most athletic guy. He would just go up and get balls, and he would get extra yardage, and he would break tackles. And that's how he produced. I don't know if there's another guy necessarily like that, but there's definitely guys that have their own talent to draw from that can be just as good as Juwan Jennings was in the SEC.
Yeah, I think what made him so great too is like he had no fear going over the middle either.
That helps.
He wasn't scared of contact, and I feel like that's part of it. Yeah, you're not going to get a great throw probably over the middle from the quarterback that you had, but he's going to go get it, and if he gets laid out, he gets laid out. But he's also gonna, if he catches it, he's gonna let the receiver know he caught it, and maybe drop a ball on their stomach in the end zone like he did at South Carolina.
Yeah, no, he definitely wasn't shy about. You see him celebrate his touchdown and one-on-ones at.
Yeah, I don't know who's flexing at, but it was somebody.
So he's definitely not shy about letting you know that what he just did to you. But yeah, I'm actually. I know we're going to get into like what we see as a starting lineup and stuff later on, but talking about guys who can go up and make catches. Is that a role that Cedric Tillman fills in nicely? He's one of the taller guys that you'll at least see play often. And he's the guy I think everybody's kind of pointing at to be that 50-50 ball guy.
Yeah, I think when you coming into this season, you're like that was your question mark with this receiving core. It wasn't speed.
Right.
It probably wasn't necessarily route running. It was quarterback play. Can a quarterback get to it? Can a quarterback throw down the field with guys running that fast? Which apparently they've added somebody that can. And then who's going to go up and get the 50-50 balls? Who's going to be utilizing the red zone? And I think you're right. I think Cedric Tillman, I think those other guys have to do it to a certain extent, but I think Cedric Tillman is a guy that you're going to lean on in those situations. Maybe a 3rd and short. Maybe if you get a quick turnover, you try a shot play to Cedric Tillman. I know they tried that a lot with Josh Palmer last year. Not really with turnovers, but just taking a shot down the field. I think Cedric Tillman would probably fit that mold.
And I think too, having that guy that is going to go downfield and be that, because it's nothing against Jalen Hyatt and Velus Jones. It's just haven't necessarily seen it from them. Can they run and get under a ball? They obviously have the speed to do that. Like, that's not in question. But balls, like, there are a lot of balls when Josh Palmer was here that you're like, those aren't caught by any other receiver on this roster.
Right.
That was thrown to him. And so is there a guy that almost can be that safety valve? It's like, all right, I see him. He's only got one guy on him. We'll give him a chance to make this play and just kind of throw it his direction. That's nice to have. And the quarterback's got to, if you have that, which you did with Josh Palmer, the quarterback's got to utilize that guy more too. If you have a person that you feel like you can throw to and he's going to catch the ball most of the time, and that means he's either going to catch it or it's probably going to be an incompletion. You're not, you don't have to throw it that perfectly. You can just give him a chance to make it. That's huge, but you got to use him. How many times did Josh Palmer get those chances to make that?
Yeah, and change his body in the air. That's something else. Like, yeah, you can go up and get a 50-50 ball, but can you turn a bad throw into a good throw?
Quarterbacks love those guys.
Yeah.
They should.
And, I'm not saying Tennessee doesn't have one of those in the roster, but I don't think we've seen it to this point. And that's probably not a lot of these guys' strength is,
right.
The radius catching, like Devontae Smith, just a freak athlete like that. These guys can run and go get a go route for sure. But like, can they run the entire route tree? Is something.
Would it be nice to have a quarterback good enough that you're not even talking about the guy that can go up and make the play? Like, you're talking about who's going to turn the bad throws into good throws. It's going to be nice one day, hopefully, please, to have a quarterback that you're just like, can he find the space? Can he outrun the safety? Like, that's going to be nice to just talk about one day. Hopefully, that is my hope and prayer.
Hopefully, it's this year.
God, my timeline's not even working that fast, but that would be nice.
There's some people throwing all their probably Bitcoin investment at Joe Milton right now.
There's a lot of Joe Milton fans, and hey, you got to ride with the starting quarterback. I get that. I'm not that's sorry, but it's probably who it's going to be. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I get it. You got to ride with him.
Yeah.
Got to ride with him.
We'll see. So kind of guys, and I'm interested to see how many guys you actually use. Going this fast, having that many plays, that many opportunities to run your offense. I think it's going to be you're going to have quite a bit of guys on this roster that are capable, but maybe guys a little bit further down the depth chart. Do they get any, a role on this team? Ramel Keaton is one that I'm just like, he's had probably the most catches besides Velus and Hyatt in this offense. But, the speed's not there. It's just I just don't know what his role would be. And do you think he finds one in this season, in this offense? I haven't heard much about him, and I don't know if that's a –
well, I guess it's kind of like how – I think I'm going to think just because of you talked about the speed of this offense, not necessarily the speed of Ramel Keaton. The speed of this offense, I think there's enough need for Ramel Keaton to be in that general rotation. So, yeah, I think he does find a role. Now, how great is he at that role? How much do we get out of him? I don't have a good guess. I would think he's going to be one of your better kind of non-starters. depending on and two, it does kind of depend on it. Well, let me ask you this: you have Valus, Jalen, and Cedric Tillman. Are those your three starters, or who's your third guy?
I think it's a kind of a toss-up between three guys.
Okay.
I think Cedric Tillman is probably in there. Javonte Payton, and then Jimmy Callaway, who had a really good spring. I mean, I guess at that point, like, you could go 4 wide probably at times. You could,
and they will. I mean, they will.
Yeah, and you're going to go, sometimes maybe even 5 wide. And you're going to throw guys in and out. So I guess that really doesn't matter. But 3 starters, I'm going to go with Javonte Payton for now, because I think he is a little different than Hyatt and Valus. In terms, he is fast, but he is a little taller than those two. So I'm interested to see kind of how they utilize that. But I'm going to go Javonte Payton for now. I think if you're closer to the goal line, I think probably Cedric Tillman's your guy, but also Jimmy Callaway had a really good spring, and I think especially when Jalen Hyatt was out, I think he got a ton of reps in the spring. So I don't know. I think either 3 of those guys is probably the starter.
Okay, and the reason I ask is just, I assumed you didn't have
Valus and Hyatt for sure, though.
Yeah. I assumed you didn't have Ramel Keaton starting, even like you probably even in the question of that third guy. But I do see him being in the next two, in the next. He's in the top 6 in my opinion, and maybe right on the cusp. But I think he'll play plenty. I guess is how I'm saying it. Now, where does he fit? Like, how does he fit that role? Is that his role all season? I don't know, and I think that's why it's like, does he find a role this year? I think that, and this is a good problem to have. I think there is a lot of talent on this team. And so I think there's a lot to choose from. And that's why I don't know if he fits into that role or not.
Yeah, I just I don't know if he fits, if he's in your was it 6 deep? I don't even know if he would be in like your I guess 2 deep. Would he be in your 2 deep? You got Jimmy Holiday.
If he's not, he's number 7. Like, that's the thing.
Well, you got say your top 3 is Callaway, Hyatt, and Valus. Then you got Javonte Payton, you got Jimmy Holiday, you got Cedric Tillman, Walker Merrill, Anderson Kobe. You have a lot of options. I still think you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to go win it. I guess it's not just given to you.
And he does. You mentioned he has some of the more. In that group, especially that second group, he has the most catches. So he does have experience on his side that's can play well for him. But I think it's going to be interesting for this whole team, like as far as for this whole group. What is your role? Because you can't tell me Jalen or Valus have proven themselves to be this receiver, the guy that gets the ball short and is able to get yards after catch, or the guy that's beating the defense over top. Sure, they have the speed to do that. Maybe Jalen, he started running the ball better after catches later in the season. Maybe he does that now, but none of them have a clear role, in my opinion, on the team.
Yeah,
and you can blame quarterbacks, but you can't blame. Can't put all the blame on them, I guess.
Right. You just don't have the production. It's not a fault of your own, but it is what it is. And Juwan kind of almost doubled both of those guys combined. It was in 13 games, but he had 969 yards. They combined for 59 catches for 969 yards, and they combined for 42 catches, 556 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Juwan Jennings had 8 touchdowns. So, it wasn't super productive. They were both at right at 225. I think Hyatt had 20 catches or 22 catches. Valus had 20. So it just, it wasn't super productive, even though, more of that was toward the end of the season. I know a lot of Hyatts were in that Alabama game. But yeah, just not I guess it's not their fault to a certain extent, but yeah.
To an extent. I think you can definitely put some of it on them, but
you can't mark either one of those as like a first team all SEC player with that production.
Certainly can't. Certainly can't. So as far as this group, let's talk who so you mentioned your 3 starters. You said Peyton, right? That's your third?
I think it's Peyton or Callaway.
Okay. So
probably Peyton up to this point. I think he
Okay.
has the experience in the SEC. Even though it was at Mississippi State, he does have some experience. So I think that maybe helps him out at the start of the year, but maybe toward the end you see somebody different in that third slot.
yeah, possibly. I don't necessarily disagree. I think it's whatever. All right, who has the most catches this year?
I'm gonna go with Valus. I think he was. I think he was a stud toward the end of the season. I want to see more games like he had at Vanderbilt. I think he does a good job of breaking tackles, and that's what makes him a good returner. So I think Valus will. I think he'll have the most yards and catches.
Okay. Who? Most catches? I would think Valus too.
But I don't think Hyatt's very far behind in either one of those categories.
See, I'm kind of curious with more yards. I think if like how I picture them, I think Jalen's probably more of that deep threat over top. But again, that's just speculation. I mean, that neither of them have really proved to be this or that yet.
They both averaged like 14 yards a catch last season. So.
Yeah. So I think I'll go with him yards and then touchdowns. Touchdowns could be a very interesting one.
I'm gonna go Hyatt with touchdowns because I think he is that deep threat that's maybe gonna have more big plays.
Okay.
But I think Valus will have just more opportunities to catch the football.
Yeah. I wonder with that, which I just don't know with this offense, how many chances you have, short 10 less yards, but I kind of wonder if it's a 50-50 ball guy, like a guy that's like, I feel like it could be a really, really obscure touchdown leader just because, and whether it be a guy in the corner of the end zone or a guy in the middle of the end zone that's not afraid, to stay in a catch through the middle of the field. I feel like it could be an obscure player this year just because I don't know. Even if Jalen Hyatt and Valus have great years, like I don't know if one of them's the premier guy necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I think UCF had around 3 guys around 1,000 yards last season. So
it's pretty.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty impressive. So if I just want to see somebody have 1,000 yards. I mean, when's the last time we've had that? Do we even remember?
I don't know. Someone may be able to pull that up.
I mean, it had to be 2012, right? Because Malone didn't get there. I don't think.
Yeah, I was about to ask even. Yeah.
I think he was right around what Juwan had because we were trying to get Juwan to 1,000 as well. But yeah, it had to be Patterson or Hunter, right?
I would think. And Hunter, I'm trying to, because he got injured in 20. Was that 2011 when he tore his ACL or whatever he did. Yeah, I'm kind of curious now. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But yeah, that's I'm gonna look up 2016 stats first because I feel like what's his name would have been pretty dang close.
Josh Malone.
Yeah, Josh Malone. I feel like he was close.
I think he was like right around 900.
I think he was pretty close in 2015, and then I think 16 he was also close. Maybe even edged him over there. 972.
I think Juwan had 969.
Did he? Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, very close, but
not quite. So that, I mean, it would have had to been Patterson then. I guess it could have been Hunter.
They were probably both pretty close. Yeah. I mean, that was a ton of yards.
Right. So you did. All right. So you said 1,000-yard receiver. It's Valus if it happens, you think?
I think both those guys have a shot. Okay. Now I think that depends on, it obviously depends on quarterback play, but if 3 guys at UCF can do it or get close in 10 games, surely to God in 12 games we get pretty close.
Right.
And if they don't, I hope that it's, a guy gets 800, another guy gets 800, another guy gets 600, 500.
Spread the wealth.
Yeah.
If you're not going to get a single guy there, spread the wealth.
Yeah.
Justin Hunter had 1,083 yards in 2012. Okay. So you're right about the last time. And Patterson had 1,086 yards from scrimmage. He had 778 receiving yards, and then 308 rushing yards. So He was not 1,000 receiving, but still freaking impressive. That team was so good. We were talking about how they
on
lost
offense
to Kentucky in 2011. Someone the other day, golly, just terrible.
Freaking Sal, man.
San Diego just gave up not San Diego. LA Chargers just gave up a sack in preseason. So that's a sack safety.
What's the score?
2-0.
Two to nothing. Who are they playing?
San Francisco. Yeah.
Well, the Chargers are covering. That's what I picked them to. So we'll see. Dude, I was doing so well today. I know we're getting off topic, but that's
it's fine.
That's what we do on this fake show that we have. I was like 7-0 today.
Well, thanks for tweeting them out, Landon.
And then I freaking lost like 5 straight. It was incredible. I was like, dude, I'm going to win so much money. Like, even if I just go 3-2 or 2-3, I'm going to win quite a bit of money. I've won $4. So
it all balances out.
So this is the last one I have to make some money.
There you go. We'll see. I mean, I haven't watched hardly any of the game, but
I had two that it was a 3-team parlay. And I just need the Astros to win. They gave up a run in the 9th.
Yeah.
And then they lost in like the 11th. And then the Blue Jays did like the exact same thing. Lost in the 11th inning. And you're the home team, dude. You can't lose in extra innings if you're the home team.
Well, they got to start. They start that man on second now, so that's got to help.
Yeah, that's shitty. I get it, but I don't get it. I hate it for betting because it's
like that does make it tougher. I've been asleep all day, so I've not placed a single bet. I lost. I went 0-3 yesterday though in baseball and preseason. Yeah, so it's been a fun weekend.
Yeah, I kind of want to take a break for like 2 weeks until we get back at it. I already picked Alabama to cover.
Nice.
All season money.
Or
the first game I did. I already put quite a bit of money on it. So
it's kind of big for the first game and a lot of question marks.
18.5 right now.
18.5. Okay. Yeah, I don't like it.
I think they win by 3 touchdowns. So
okay. Not a. We'll see. All right. Well, let's talk some QB room because I mean we talked about wide receivers. We talked about how it's really relying on QB, and I know we don't know who the starter is, and no one knows who the starter is, and pretty tight-lipped right now. And also media can't watch scrimmages, but
yeah, these guys just need to make plays, big plays.
Yeah, yeah, and I think too is kind of going into that. Take chances, like going into throwing up the 50-50 balls. Like take chances. I think a lot of people would have been a lot less frustrated with Jarrett Garantano if it didn't seem like the same things were happening, and then like you were, getting sacked. You weren't trying to make throws, and you weren't throwing interceptions on a deep ball that a corner just made a really good play on, or something.
Yeah, I want to see Joe Milton throw it 60 yards and just let a receiver run underneath it. I mean, these guys got the speed to do it, so yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, no, so I think take chances is the big one. And I mean,
I will say this. I think another weakness with this team is maybe like press man.
Okay. Yeah.
I think this team, with the speed guys, they usually struggle with, somebody up in their face getting off the line of scrimmage. So, I know that's something Jalen Hyatt's worked on. I'm sure Velus has too. Velus is a bit more physical than Jalen Hyatt, but I'm interested to see some of those guys how they're able to get off the football.
Well, I mean, if you have that kind of speed, you better be good at getting off the football because you want that guy in your face. Because the moment you're by him, it's over.
You're even, you're leaving.
So, yeah, they should really be inviting that crap in there. But yeah, I mean. Let's talk Joe Milton, because everyone's like, "Are you buying into the hype? Are you buying into the hype?"
Mighty Joe Young. I'm going to say it again. Somebody said, "How many times is Landon going to say it?" Mighty Joe Young. That's 2.
I don't want to compare Joe Milton to the former QB here because that's unfair.
Which one?
The former QB.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, that one. The one that threw a lot. He did throw a lot of interceptions his rookie year. But I mean, I don't know. I don't feel like we necessarily got. I mean, I guess the moment that guy left campus, you got better. But I'm just not convinced Joe Milton can be.
We're not talking about Peyton Manning.
No, we're not. Can be great. Just because he was and I'm not saying Michigan's a great program that plays great competition, all year, but they're not playing. First off, he's going to the SEC with some of the better defenses, even with the way the defense of game has changed. But I mean, he's still playing pretty good competition, and the competition is going to get tougher. The game's probably going to get, in the words of Justin Fields, faster. So it's just like, I'm not convinced he can take Tennessee to up a step.
Up a step from 3 games, or just like
just in general, good football. Yeah, maybe I'll say it. I said it maybe jokingly on Saturday. If Tennessee doesn't win 4 games this year, just fire Heupel and be done with it.
Be done with the program?
Sure. It's something. Be done with something.
Hey, we're going to sit this one out, rebuild a little bit.
We're not even going to rebuild. We're just going to burn it down. Just burn it.
That'd save me a lot of money, actually.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm just not convinced that Joe Milton is that guy. I mean, I'm all for being proven wrong. I'm not willing to also sit here and go, he can't do it. He hasn't done it. He won't do it. Like, I'm not willing to say that either, because I do think there is something to maybe getting out of certain environments, and maybe if a coach is better, he can play to your strengths and make you a better player. Like, there's stuff to that. But I mean, going back to the guy that just left, if you go watch his practice highlights, it all looks the same.
Yeah. I mean, they just keep putting him on practice highlights. Oh, yeah. I mean, I said this before. I don't think it could get any worse than what it was at Kentucky last season. So,
you think we've hit bottom?
Oh, at quarterback? Oh, 100%. 100%. 100%.
You legitimately believe it can never get worse than that?
Than that former quarterback in the game?
I mean, specifically the Kentucky game.
No, I don't.
Okay.
2 pick sixes in a row.
I hope you're right.
3 picks to Kentucky at home? Yeah, no.
I've just been a Tennessee fan for a long time. I feel like I've said we're at bottom already, and then it somehow just gets worse. I was just curious.
Well, I mean, we lost some games under Butch Jones, like with Dobbs and them. Lost some games under Dooley. But, the worst games that we've lost in this decade are with JG at quarterback.
Vanderbilt in 16 was pretty bad.
It was. But
South
they're
Carolina
also who was the quarterback then? Oh, that was Pat Robinette, wasn't it?
No, he was earlier. He was 13.
Oh, okay.
When he beat us with James Franklin. That was Derek Mason that beat Bush Jones in 16. I believe that was Carter Samuel. Is that his name? Carter Samuels? I feel like he had 2 last names, like a hyphenate. It was Carter Samuels' his hyphenated last name.
So we lost that game. That was terrible. Absolutely terrible.
Carter Samuels might have been Pat Robinette's age. Yeah, he was. That was the guy. I'm just going, okay. Sure, we'll go Vanderbilt versus Tennessee in 16. They had a terrible team.
Yeah, they were not good. Yeah, that is probably one of the worst ones. But
it was also probably the worst too. Kyle Shermer. It was freaking Kyle Shermer. God bless.
That's what it was in 16?
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably one of the better quarterbacks they've had in a long time.
I think he threw for 300 yards that game.
Yeah, he's not good, but at least he's playing in NFL preseason games, whereas no one else
threw for 416 yards. The context of the Vanderbilt is the worst loss, in my opinion. If we want to get into the worst losses, then we get into Georgia State. Again, context is important in this one. BYU is bad.
Kentucky last season
was just terrible. Were any others that bad in 17?
Oh, I'm sure. God, what did
17? We didn't win a single SEC game. But I don't remember any. I mean, that team was so bad. I don't remember there being any like unexplainable losses.
Yeah. So 17.
17, we beat Georgia Tech the first game.
Right, yeah, and that was miserable. We gave up like 600 yards on the ground. Man, I can't remember who else we played.
In 17?
Thank God, I've kind of forgot about it. I mean, to a certain extent.
I mean,
I don't remember that Vanderbilt game.
We played LSU. Vanderbilt was a home game.
LSU was in the storm, right?
Yeah, the LSU game was a storm. We played. That was the UMass year. That was we lost Kentucky at Kentucky, and that was the one that Daniel Batuli got ejected because they threw that penalty on everyone at the beginning of the game.
Oh, and then we threw it up to Jeff George, and he was like 2 inches short at the goal line, right?
Yeah, I think so.
That was also the year we lost to Florida because of
yeah,
Hail Mary. He just forgot what they were doing.
Defense just forgot where they're at. Yeah, that was a fun game.
Yeah. There's a lot of bad losses under his belt. So I don't think it gets worse.
That's fair. I mean, I really hope so.
And I think you have options behind him where you can go with somebody else if he's not getting the job.
Yeah, but you have to get to those options. So, Josh Palmer just caught a touchdown.
Did he?
I think so. I'm waiting. Another thing too that as far as that quarterback goes, did you see Pro Football Focus? What they said about him? They said that Washington State's biggest weakness this year is the potential that Jarrett Guarantano starts. Yeah.
What, he's starting?
They said that's their biggest weakness is the potential for Jarrett Guarantano to start.
Good Lord. Stop tweeting out that stuff. You're giving your opponents confidence.
Well,
like the hype videos of him throwing big sixes
all
in
over.
practice. Stop doing that.
They used to be all over Jarrett Guarantano at Tennessee. He was like always on a award watch list, and which I think he did get named to another one this year. Do you just have to be a starting quarterback or something, or like a starting player to get named to a watch list?
Pretty much. But that one is like a senior.
Oh, it's specifically seniors?
Yeah, it's the Johnny Unitas.
Well, he's been a senior like 3 years in a row now.
So Hendon Hooker's also on there, and he's not going to start.
Gotcha.
I'm sure JG's probably been on it for like 4 years now.
Yeah, for real. Dude, my body's been aching all day. Freaking COVID vaccine shot, I'm assuming is what it is.
You got that Pfizer?
No, I got Moderna.
Oh, you're not a Pfizer guy?
No free ads.
Sorry.
For Big Pharma.
Sorry.
My arm, like, it starts hurting when I get it. It's like here.
Is that the only thing that hurts? Dude, I mean, you're doing better than me. I could not walk. I couldn't talk. I couldn't get out of bed the next day.
My body's aching. It's been a long day. My whole body's kind of like aching like that.
When did you get it yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday afternoon. And I wasn't feeling great before it. I think I was dehydrated from playing golf. So I drank a ton of water. And so I don't think that's helping either. Yeah. You know, they ask you those questions. They're like, you showing any symptoms of this, and this? And I was like, no, but I feel like I'm going to pass out. Is that okay? I didn't say that, but
hold my arm.
Yeah. All right. Well, anything else for the quarterback situation?
You're probably coming down off of it. Like it is like really a 24-hour thing. So
I really hope so. I did it like kind of strategically, so like I wouldn't miss any work, and like so. Yeah. I'm hoping I'll feel better when I wake up.
About wide receivers, make plays, dude.
Yeah, please.
Let's utilize that speed. I mean, we got it. Let's utilize it.
That's more to the coaches too. Find ways to get your talented guys the ball, please. Pretty please.
Yeah, I think you have guys that you can use in jet sweeps and which like Callaway, Jennings, and Palmer. I don't know if any of those guys are like jet sweep type of guys. Maybe Callaway, maybe. But I think you have a lot more options to utilize in the run game with some of these other receivers. And in the return game, I think you have a lot of options there too.
Looking for a fart in a skillet. It's the main
fart in a skillet, baby.
It's the main thing we're looking for.
I think there's a lot of fart in skillets.
I still don't know what that is, so I can't verify. Can't deny either.
Right, yeah.
Can't do either. So let's look at the schedule, and I do want to mention Max's comment here. I don't know if you can see that. He said, you will see how good be at the Pitt game. Got to get a win over Pitt to build confidence, or the wheels could fall off. We're about to talk some schedule outlook before Graham Morgan said lemon juice, ginseng, and honey all mixed. All right, I'll try it. I'm up for anything the way I'm feeling. I think with this, we talked about it, and I mentioned it. 4 games. Good God, if you don't win 4 games, that's your non-conference, non-SEC opponents. Bowling Green, Tennessee Tech, South Alabama. That's 3, and then Vanderbilt, who roster may not look much better than it did last year. So, dear God, please get to 4 wins. But I think overall the roster or the schedule, sets up for some positivity. Is that the best way to say it? I don't know about I don't know how many wins are truly sitting on there. At least 4.
Favorable. You don't have to go through a freaking gauntlet like you have in the past, I guess.
Right. Your gauntlet's pretty, if you want to call it a gauntlet, those 4 games but there's also a bye week in there of some really, really meaningful and potentially tough SEC opponents. Mm-hmm. So that's your really only stretch, but
I think there is if I remember correctly, there is a bye week.
It's right in the middle of that 4 game that I'm talking about. Ole Miss, Alabama, Kentucky, and Georgia.
Yeah, it is Alabama and Kentucky, right?
Yeah, it's between Alabama and Kentucky. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
that's good.
No, it definitely splits it up. And I agree with you in terms of this is probably the most favorable schedule that Tennessee's seen in a while. I don't think Pitt's as important as Max thinks it is. I think it's obviously an important game. It's a non-conference, but in the sense of I don't think a loss to Pitt could potentially derail your season, is what I mean. I also don't think a win over Pitt could elevate your season either.
It'll make Florida more, I don't know, seem like a bigger game than it probably is.
If you beat Pitt, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's also probably the biggest, it's a gauge to see where the team's at. If we're looking at in importance, like Bowling Green, hopefully you play a lot of guys and get through that game and, not get anybody injured, get to Pitt, and then you can play balls to the wall with your starters because you're not going to blow out Pitt. Let's be honest.
Right. You're probably not going to beat Pitt. But I even think the reason I say I don't think it derails your season, I think a loss to Pitt, they're still, left on the schedule after that, there's still 5 winnable games. Now, I want to be careful with how I say this. 5 winnable games after Pitt.
People come after you, dude. They'll let you know.
That's fine. Screen record it. Screenshot it.
Just like those people that think the NFL is better than college. God.
But and kind of going through the schedule outlook, and I don't know what all you wanted to really get into with this. I know we kind of discussed it. We talked about it with Ron. I think it even came up with Eric Kane on last episode. I think it's good that you have South Carolina, that's bad. Vanderbilt, that's bad, and then Kentucky's got to replace a lot. Their roster may look better than Tennessee's, but they lose quite a bit, and it's not like Kentucky's just been on a different world tear.
Dude, they're hopping up their quarterback more than we are with Joe Milton. Holy crap!
I want to know what's going on with these players that got arrested too. What's happening?
A lot of those guys, Tennessee was in on.
Okay.
Too. So
interesting. Surprised we didn't end up with them.
Yeah, it's nice. Somebody else
making bids for the former cup.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So I think we talked about this. The game you're circling. Ole Miss.
Yeah, as far
Like you're kind of like most excited for? Like you think somehow?
I think that'll be the biggest tailgate.
I think it'll be the most fun tailgate. I think it'll be the most fun game. I think there's going to be a lot of hype leading up to it with Kiffin coming back as a head coach for the first time. I think, and it'll depend on how if Tennessee's just really, really just completely shit the bed by that point.
Yeah.
Then it's not going to be fun. So it is going to be pulled back up just to have the good news is you really don't play many people before that. Like it's like
Florida,
who you're expected to lose to, Pitt, who you're expected to lose to, and
Missouri.
then South Carolina the week before, I believe, right?
And then you have Missouri in between Florida and South Carolina.
Yeah, so as long as you don't just completely just go out and get demolished and not even put up a fight, I mean, there's going to be some hype that comes into that game. And I think Tennessee, depending on how, like, again, quarterback situation's a big one. But if you just have an offense, I mean, you give yourself a chance in that game.
Yeah, and I think Josh Heupel, like, he is a good opportunity to maybe show people that he's heading in the right direction with this favorable schedule. You just got to compete.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Jeremy Pruitt would get either he'd win or he would lose by 30. So, I mean, if you can just keep it kind of close, even if it's games that you're supposed to lose or maybe a toss-up, you lose some of those, but you're in it till the end.
Yeah, don't lose by double digits every time.
Yeah, I think Tennessee fans will, I guess, not be happy about it, but they'll be satisfied enough to maybe purchase season tickets next year.
Well, and I mean, at least like you're moving and you feel like you're moving in the right direction. And that's a big part of it.
Show some, recruits. I know in-state recruiting is not going Tennessee's way right now. I think you only have one in the top 20, and that's Elijah Herring at Riverdale. So if you want to show some of these, 2023, maybe even 2022 recruits that we're heading in the right direction, this offense is for real and can do it in the SEC. I think that could be huge for Josh Heupel in year one, where year one, it's not a make or break. I don't think unless you're just you only win 3 games, then you can talk about firing him. But I think it's a year where he's trying to pick up the pieces from the past staff.
No, yeah, I mean there's definitely a lot to try to recover from. It's not gonna be fun.
I don't even know if it's pieces. It's like freaking
shattered. It's shattered glass.
Yeah,
it's shattered.
Picking it up one piece at a time with your butt cheeks.
Yeah. Oh God, what?
Sorry.
How did you pick up glass when you broke it?
Huh?
How did you pick up glass when you broke it?
I've heard that. I've been watching some stupid show. I'm not even going to tell you the name of it. You're going to make fun of me. But it was like they said something like I would like crawl miles through broken glass just to hear you fart through a walkie-talkie or something.
That's from a TV show you're watching?
Like I heard it recently on this.
I feel like what's the name of that? I feel like I've seen that TV show. So why are you?
I've heard it before then, but it's in my mind because of this TV show.
Because of the TV show, gotcha. Have you had the new Vol donut from Dunkin' Donuts? I know Raven likes Dunkin'.
I'm not a.
Looks good.
Is it? I mean, it's got to be orange, right?
Yeah. I think it's white and orange, like cream icing over top.
Okay.
Of it. Yeah.
So. It's just a glaze with orange icing.
Yeah. Vol donut.
I feel like we could be better, but
how? I
don't know. Like some like make the inside of the donut like orange.
I feel like you're
like an orange cake donut.
You're thinking way too hard. I feel like the orange icing's simple. Got the job done.
I'm not like I don't like Dunkin' Donuts because I like cake donuts. Like if I'm gonna eat a donut, I want it to be.
You don't like Krispy Kreme?
No. I mean, like it's not bad. I'm not saying like it's, but if I'm going to get a donut, I'm not a big sweet guy. So if I'm going to get a donut, I want freaking balls to the wall cake donut, like a the dojo. There's one in Powell. There's one in Carnes. There might be
Never heard
some.
of it. Duck donuts. They're cake donuts. Pretty good.
Like the freaking strawberry cake donut. Oh
I feel like you're just trying. I feel like you're trying too hard. I feel like you should just accept these Dunkin' Donuts with orange icing and be happy. It's a Vol donut.
Is it more than a regular donut?
Probably, I would say, just because that makes sense. I've never had it. I have no idea.
Well, you try it and you let me know.
I'll let you know. I bet they don't have them in Johnson City. I bet they're in Knoxville only.
Well, I'll trade you for the
I'm not
for Pals.
Okay.
I'd rather have Pals than donut.
Okay, got it. Deal.
I don't have that luxury. I don't have that here.
All right, there's let's talk some high school football. Let's get into that.
Oh, we forgot to mention Brian Maurer's gone. Officially.
I alluded to it. I'm sorry. I didn't say it directly.
Officially. He's officially gone. If you want to see something really funny, Google Brian Maurer and see what picture pops up.
Oh, that's not how you spell Brian. Good God. Just Brian Maurer, that's it?
Yeah. The first picture that pops up.
Who is that?
No clue.
I have no idea what to expect.
It looks like Brian Maurer, like an Austin Price.
It's some golfer. It looks like. I don't know who that is, though. Did someone put you onto this, or how did you find it?
I found it one day.
Okay.
Yeah. Google Brian Maurer. I actually tweeted about it. I was like, Brian Maurer really let himself go.
God. Yeah, you're just making fun of this poor guy for no reason. He's like, what did I do?
I'm like, there's nothing wrong with you. You're just you don't look 20.
How old do you think that guy looks?
Let me take a good glance. I'd say about 32.
Okay, I would have went a bit older.
Going like 30, 37?
No, I think he's in his 40s. For sure.
I think he's 32, but he definitely likes some cake donuts too.
Probably. He probably likes
We're just sitting here roasting this man.
Yeah, I'm so sorry to this guy. I'm trying to find out who he is. So.
You could probably like copy and paste his picture.
I'm trying to do a reverse image search, but
okay,
my computer's not cooperating.
But yeah, go Google Brian Maurer, and the first picture that pops up is not Brian Maurer.
It's definitely not Brian. All right, let's go to high school football instead of just going in on this man.
Dude, what a first week! Is it called week 1 or week 0? Still?
I think they've moved back to week 1. I think it's week 1 now.
Oh,
it was week zero for a time, and now I believe it's week 1. Yeah. So you're a week 0 guy?
I kind of liked it. I didn't understand it, but that's all I knew.
Makes sense. I like it.
Week 0, but those hits really aged. They did. That Scorpion King.
Oh God. All right, so it is a golfer. That is verified. I just can't find the name.
Who it is?
Maybe his name is Brian Maurer. I don't know why his name is probably Brian Maurer. I feel like we thought about that way too hard. That's definitely the guy's name. Right?
I guess. I don't know.
Let's do a Brian Maurer. I'm like way too in on this right now. But yeah, so week 0 doesn't make sense to me either. But whatever. But week 1, fantastic. Got off to a great start with Southwell beating Oak Ridge.
Dude, so Goki is number 1 for the win. But dude, props to Oak Ridge. Look at this. They gave an opposing fan this.
What is it?
It's just like it's just like a rag. Which
I feel like you could have just not taken that.
Yeah, but the seats are wet, so they're like giving these out. And I'm like,
okay.
Oh,
Nice.
Dude, that's way to take care of everybody. Fan experience. I'll be back.
I've got one from A&M. That's how.
I'll be back because of that. I mean, just like cheap. I mean, but like
I've got one from A&M.
it
I think I've got one from Kentucky too.
It come in handy. I appreciate it. Yeah,
That's
props
a
to them.
hideous color just to have in your room.
Yeah, but like it's not gonna go. Like I'm gonna wipe. I just put this in here. I'm gonna wipe my dog's feet with it when they come in. Like it's. I mean,
They
I'm
just
gonna use it.
supplied you with toiletries.
Yeah. Like if they like have a bad accident on the floor, I can just use this, throw it away. So yeah, it's.
You're just gonna throw that away. You can wash it. It's reusable. You can wash it.
I mean, some of those accidents, you're like, okay, that needs to be thrown away. Or if I have an accident, like when you have a bad accident,
definitely
you crap yourself, and then you just have to throw your underwear
How
away.
often do you poop your pants?
I haven't pooped my pants in probably like 4 years, 5 years. When's the last time you pooped your pants? It's not like I just like shit. I sharted.
2008.
8?
Yes.
I feel like that's not true.
Poop my pants. Yeah, that's true. 100% true.
You're also a free peer, so like you've had accidents. It might have not been.
It's not an accident. I'm doing it, and like that's not an accident. I'm peeing.
I'm using the bathroom. You woke up not like you didn't want to do that.
I wouldn't count on that.
But yeah, it's not like I just freaking.
It sounds like if you plan to poop your pants, that tells me you poop your pants way too often. Like if you're like, I'll have this just in case I poop my pants.
I'm not a person that carries toilet paper in my. Sorry, Bill. I think you just said something about set up for the next toilet paper.
The next virus.
Oh yeah. Or anytime there's a storm, Walmart and Food City are just out of toilet paper, gone. It's incredible.
Yeah, you guys need to get bidets. I need a bidet actually.
There was one in our Airbnb in New Orleans, which is French, so it makes sense why. But yeah, I didn't use it. And also it made the toilet seat a lot smaller. So it was like on the toilet seat. It wasn't like a separate thing.
Right.
I
know how bidets work.
Well, you can have two different ones.
There's a few different models of bidets.
Yeah. Like one looks like a sink toilet.
Yeah, like washing dishes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like it's not bad actually.
No, I've never had a bad bidet.
I forgot what we were talking about.
High school football.
Yeah. Pooping our pants. But yeah, what a start. I think it's going to be really interesting who comes out on top in this area from 5A and 4A.
Yeah.
3A, it's probably going to be Alcoa. I mean,
no, not this year.
And then 6A, it's probably going to be Maryville.
No.
But yeah, like it was impressive. I was impressed with a couple teams. Carter beat Webb, 26-21. South Dole beat Oak Ridge, 28-20. Let's look.
Elizabeth beat Science Hill 34-15.
Catholic beat Chucky Doak 63-7. Good Lord. Maryville beat Heritage 49-0. I'm sure a lot of their players did not play the second half.
I think not. I mean, just talking like 4 and 5A Powell over Anderson County, 60-48. Both teams lived up to the hype that you thought that game would be. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, God, I hope you took the over. Holy crap!
Always take the over there. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of impressive teams in this region in both 4 and 5A, and I think it's going to play up to be another good year. Knox West beat Bearden 24-2. And then on some safety action, I like to see it.
But starting off strong,
right? There's going to be a lot of good teams in this area in all classifications. But 4 and 5A, I think there's a whole group of them. So it's going to make it fun.
Halls and Gibbs was a good game. Gibbs knocks off Halls 25-20. Trying to find some other. Seymour beat Gallenberg Pittman also on Thursday, 14-13.
I need to hear more about that mayhem. Apparently, they had 3 attempts for the game-winning extra point.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know. I don't know the exact story behind it, but
They missed all 3.
No. I think
Seymour.
had,
okay.
Like there was like a false start or something, and then there was a like roughing the kicker or something, and then the third one went through and counted.
Dang.
Something like that. I don't know the exact story, but yeah.
Sevier County beat Jefferson County 21-13. And then we already mentioned Carter Webb. That was a surprise for me. I think Carter's going to surprise some teams this year. I think they moved down to 4A too.
They are 4A. Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's going to be interesting. I mean, you got Carter, you got Anderson County, Greenville, Elizabethton, South Dole. I mean, there is a ton of talent in 4A. And then 5A, it's been a beast for years now with, I know Greenville beat Central pretty good, I think 42-17, but Central's been a really good 5A team. Powell, West, Oak Ridge. I'm sure there's more I'm just forgetting, but a lot of good teams in this area, especially in the 4A, 5A, that are going to make things real interesting when it comes to playoff time.
Yep, definitely.
Who wins? Did you watch any Maryville Alcoa?
No. I don't know if I think Alcoa's game might have been streaming somewhere, but I don't think there was any way to watch Maryville.
Gotcha.
I did watch some of the Central Greenville game. Obviously, watched South Oil and South Oil and Oak Ridge, and then I'd say I probably watched maybe 10 total plays of the Powell Anderson County game.
Were they all touchdowns?
Pretty much, yeah. No, I was especially when that game got close to the end. I tuned in to watch, seeing that it was getting interesting.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alcoa beat Ray County 14-13. CAK beat Kings Academy 33-6.
Oh, Alcoa beat Ray County like 41-13.
What'd I say?
14-13, I think.
Oh, 41-13. Sorry, I'm just
something like that. It was a big victory for
41-13. Grace just stomped Lakeway Christian. Did you see the final of that?
Yeah, 49-0.
Yeah.
A lot of good games. I'm excited for week 2.
59-0.
59-0.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to get week 2 underway, continue some high school football. So far, like I said, it seems like just about every team lived up to some of the hype they had in week 1. And like
what about Carnes beating Hardin Valley 21-7?
Yeah, that was kind of my next point. Like teams like Carter, like even some of the ones that are kind of been flying under the radar this year, but maybe had some, a little bit of hype start kind of creeping in there at the end of the offseason, living up to it too. So it's going to be interesting. I'm excited to see what teams stay the course. I think there's definitely some teams that maybe look like they're just like an injury away. So it's gonna be an interesting high school football season.
Yeah. I know that the Powell Anderson County game broke the Diamond Clear Media record. Well, that record's about to be beat again when Powell plays Maryville this Thursday night on Rivalry Thursday.
Yeah, for real. But hopefully freaking Diamond Clear works this Thursday. Didn't last Thursday.
Yeah, hopefully we get those updates updated well before Thursday. That'd be nice.
But it is on the WAT app.
Okay.
So they don't tell us before the first.
Is it not the same stream, or they do 2 separate streams?
I guess Diamond Clear streams it, and then WAT streams it themselves. Because WAT streams their broadcast, their live news broadcast on their website, so it's probably running under the same system that is. Whereas Diamond Clear is streaming online.
Gotcha. Cool.
Yeah. So
there you go.
All right.
And even if you're out of state, you can still get those streams up. I had somebody was like, I wish I could watch it. And I'm like, you can. You can.
All right. Anything else for high school football?
That's all I got. There's some really good. I was surprised at how many points Anderson County was able to put up with Walter Nolan on that Powell defense.
And he got himself plenty of plays too. He had.
Yeah. I mean,
he plays and you scored 48 points. nothing.
Yeah,
to
I
hang
mean,
your hat about.
Eric Kane said that like teams are going to game plan around him.
Right.
But if they're, they did move him around some the other night, and I think that's what you have to do is if you keep him in one spot, they're never going to run to that side.
Right.
But if you keep him moved around, I think that's where he's able to make plays the most. But yeah, putting up 48 points on defense as number one player in the nation is pretty impressive.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right. Do we have any questions?
No, I will say this: please stretch. So many cramps.
Oh, yeah.
I was at the South Oak Ridge, and Brandon Hayward, who's going to be a stud. I think he's just a sophomore. Already has a Tennessee, Kentucky offer. Super impressed by him, and if he doesn't cramp like the entire game, he probably has a couple more touchdowns.
Right.
Yeah, what a game that was. That was fun to go to. It was fun to just be back in a football stadium again.
Yeah, I bet. I'm a little jealous of you. I got to experience fireworks at ETSU on Friday night from Elizabethton and Science Hill.
Good Lord, could you imagine if Powell and Anderson County shot off fireworks?
They ran out in the first quarter.
Yeah.
They ran out. Landon did tweet out. I know we didn't have any questions, but Landon did tweet out question of the day. Great graphic from our guy Dylan Cole there. And what was Tennessee's loudest game in the past few years? He had Tennessee, Georgia, Tennessee, Florida, and Tennessee, Oklahoma. And 13 Georgia, 16 Florida, 15 Oklahoma. Ashley McDaniel said you simply cannot pick between those three. I would agree. They were all pretty freaking loud. Adam Shipley, I think, had the agreement, like the thing I agree with most. 15 Oklahoma was just the most sustained loudness of all time. 13 Georgia, though, that block punt in the end zone was the loudest moment I've ever heard inside England. It was insane. Like the stands were shaking. So those are, and that was kind of what a lot of people said. Like Oklahoma was some of the most sustained just noise of all time. People I couldn't talk to the guy. I think Charlie Howard mentioned, I don't see it on here, mentioned I couldn't talk to the guy next to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate that I could not go to that game. I had my own game, but yeah, everything I've heard about it was just insane.
Yeah, Zane Slater actually said what I just said. He said he was at all three games, but Georgia in 13 is the loudest that he had ever heard in Neyland. I don't really remember Florida getting super loud. I think someone even mentioned that.
I know, the first half was dead because we got our
right. Yeah, I mean, it was very sad, but I don't really remember getting
the Juwan Jennings touchdown. I don't really remember it from I don't remember what it was because I just remember the play, but I'm sure it had to be pretty freaking loud.
It had to be loud, but I think me and you talked about this on the show. The end of the game was it was one of the weirdest winning environments I've ever been a part of because it wasn't.
A lot of people went home.
Well, people were just relieved to finally beat Florida. I don't even think it was so much excitement as it was just finally. Everyone was just every high five was we did it. We finally beat them.
Yeah, it was just okay, now we can sleep again.
Well, because it's not like Florida had a great team in 16 or anything. It's so
my wife burned some popcorn or something.
I was did someone just fart in your room? Did someone just crop dust?
Freaking.
But yeah, it was a very weird winning environment. I've never been a part of anything quite like that.
The drive by.
But yeah, that's a good memories. Hopefully we can make some more maybe this year. I feel like a game like Ole Miss there'll be a lot of people there. I think so. As long as Tennessee's not just looking too terrible.
Yeah.
By that point.
So we have a ticket giveaway. Now that
we have a ticket giveaway, but we will not give them away till Thursday.
Thursday, yes.
So you still have time to enter. Retweet, follow the tweet that Landon sent out. We will select the winner Thursday before the show, announce it Thursday on the show. That will get you tickets to the Bowling Green game.
Section L, baby.
Yep. So, yes.
Where was that again?
That is row 46. So retweet, follow to enter, and we will announce that on Thursday night. And that gives you a week to plan on going to the game. We'll get those tickets to you, probably digital. I think that's how I have my tickets this year. I need to double check. I may have gotten physical copies. I'm not sure. But we'll get them to you a week before the game. So you have time to plan out if you're not in Knoxville, if you plan on making the trip, whatever you may be. Hopefully, I know it's not going to be 100,000. I hope it's like a good crowd for at least the first half. I get it. People are going to that's another thing about that game. I was like, I just hate that it's a Thursday. I hate that it's a Thursday. Like this isn't the year to play the Thursday game.
Just because of
it's like everything around it. Like Tennessee was terrible last year. Bowling Green's awful. Like this isn't the year to play the Thursday game.
Yeah, a lot of people aren't gonna take off work on Friday for a team that may or may not be good.
Right.
Or probably not gonna be good.
Probably not gonna be good. Yeah. So just a bad year to do it. Obviously I'm excited for kickoff, but
and we will not be tailgating that day either. Just a difficult time to really set up after work and then try to throw something together, and then it'll just be hard for people to get there. So not going to tailgate, but we're going to have a huge tailgate for the Pitt game, even though it is a noon game.
Right.
We'll be there super early to set up, so come by.
Maybe have some walnuts.
There you go. Oh, we are, yeah.
Some Vol donuts. Might have some of those.
Maybe.
There's Dunkin' on the way.
We'll see.
T-shirts coming soon, too.
You go that way? How do you go?
Down Chapman? Yeah. I mean, right there. Like, Dunkin's like walking distance from the tailgate.
Oh, I know, but like, you go like the interstate. You wouldn't go.
No,
I guess
not to our where we tailgate.
But okay, you'll be coming from here instead of
like
Johnson City. But if you're coming from Johnson City to the stadium, you would definitely.
Yeah, I would go downtown
interstate. Okay.
Right. All right. Most important of the week.
Most important, I have Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers getting his 500th career home run today.
Nice.
I think he's the 28th player to enter the 500 club.
Okay. Wow.
Miggy.
Yeah. 500 home runs is an insane amount of home runs, by the way. We didn't know that.
It is.
Also, how many does Shohei Ohtani have now? He has an insane amount of home runs.
He hit one today?
No, I think he definitely did this weekend, but it's an insane amount of home runs.
They're losing 3-0, so.
Not tonight. My first one is, did you see Carol Lawson's thread about the
he has 40 home runs.
He has 40? Okay. I almost said 42. I thought he surpassed 40. Did you see Carol Lawson's thread about that timeout that Pat called in the Tennessee Vanderbilt game? I don't remember the exact year it was. Did you see that thread? So go check it out. It's really cool. She just talks about what Pat said in the timeout, and then I think it's a 3-part tweet. But it's a really cool, just little tidbit about Pat, that Vanderbilt game, that timeout. You all go read it. It's great. It's on Carol Lawson's Twitter. It's a fantastic little thread that I'm glad she shared it with us. There's another really cool thread too. I'm gonna have to find that one if I can and talk about it. But yeah, that's one of my most important for Vol fans. Definitely go check that out.
There you go.
Alvin Kamara released a new cereal. Is that real, by the way?
I don't know.
Okay.
Is it going to be like in stores, or you got to buy it at the freaking Vol shop?
I think it's going to be at the Vol shop. Kamara's King Crunch. Very, very strange.
How much is that going to be? Like freaking $40?
Yeah, but it's going to sell out in 10 minutes. So.
Oh, it is. Yeah. I'm just not going to buy it.
Love it. Any other most important?
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about this. The One Knoxville SC logo.
We've not talked about the logo because it was released, I believe, on Thursday night.
Okay. That looks freaking incredible. Number one.
It does look good. Are you showing it because your screen's frozen right now?
Am I back?
Oh, there you go. You are back. Yeah, I've already ordered a shirt and hat of it.
I guess you can see, kind of. Gosh. There's just not a great way to show it.
No, there's not. I mean, I can do a screen share, but we'll wait.
Is that
Perfect.
better?
Yeah, dim that light down. There you go. It is a great patch. I don't know if it
then
looks.
The way they like put it all together.
The video is
makes
fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if it looks like a soccer patch. I'll say that. Besides the actual like outside design, that looks like a soccer. But like that's really, I mean, I guess they wanted the gold ball to be like a soccer ball and a sun sphere and whatnot. But I don't know if that's like. I don't know. It's really cool. I'm not hating on it. I already bought a shirt and hat for it. So on the way. But yeah, it's
Are they playing at Regal?
For now, and I think the plan is to play at the Randy Boyd Stadium if it is approved and built.
Oh, okay, cool.
But Regal for now, which is good because you can serve alcohol there now. And if you want adults to go to a sporting event that they don't give a rat's ass about, you better have alcohol.
Correct.
So yeah, that'll be a better experience this time around. But I think the plan is to move to Boyd's when it's all said and done. I think it's going to be built like two. I mean, they've already said for like concerts and stuff. I think soccer as well will be built for that.
Interesting. I'm excited. If we can't have a minor league stadium yet, that's probably the next best thing.
A soccer team?
Yeah, just a soccer team.
You think a soccer team's like your two steps are like just a random minor league stadium, then a soccer team's like right under it? I'll take that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like it's something else to do, I guess.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
And since Tennessee doesn't have like an actual a guys soccer team, they do have a girls.
That won again tonight, beat Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, Brian Penske, 100th career win. Yeah.
Yep.
Got the Gatorade bath, orange Gatorade bath.
Orange Gatorade bath. Do you think that's all they serve at UT? If I was the athletic trainer, I wouldn't have anything but orange Gatorade.
Got to be.
Okay. This is the only thing we're drinking. I would like hit any like red or blue Gatorade that came in. I'd knock it out of their hands.
There you go. Yeah.
Not in my house. Not in my house.
That's all I got for most important.
So I think that's all I have for most important too. I can't find anything here. I'm getting prepped for football season. Shotgun a few beers this weekend just to make sure my body can handle it.
You did. It looked good too.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Not a lot of spillage.
Not a lot of spillage.
There was like you did it before.
There was some. I got in trouble. Had to clean it up, but worth it.
Yeah,
worth it for sure. Fail of the week.
Fail of the week, dude. I don't even know if I have any.
I'm sure you have some. I have.
I do have one, but it's like a failure of like a lifetime.
Doesn't even fit into this week's.
It's something you fit into.
Oh, okay, good. Washington State tweeted out the JG being on that watch list, and then the next tweet was him throwing up really bad interception. So
it's so bad.
Yikes!
Like,
yikes!
I don't understand. Like, when you're tweeting that out, why do you put the quarterback in there? Just have the ball in the air and then have him intercepted it.
Yeah, I don't know if they really realize that. Yeah, they're showing a highlight for their defense, but do they remember that they're playing their team's offense?
Yeah. Maybe they just like wanted traction. They knew Vol fans would get a hold of it and just wear it out.
Maybe. No such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly. My only fail is 3/4 pants. You just can't. No.
How's that a fail?
Dude, that was my favorite. Anytime I came over to your house, you were wearing those pants. Dude.
I mean, I'm sorry you've never been comfortable.
I loved them, but I hated them at the same time.
I've got like 4 pairs now.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
What does Emily think about them?
She hates them.
She hates them?
I mean, I don't know if she hates them, but she doesn't love them.
Like, do you go out and eat in them?
Hell no.
Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. If you wear them around the house, yeah, that's one thing.
I mean, I played soccer in them, like what they're designed for, but I don't just like go to dinner in
them. Oh, that'd be hilarious.
Also,
can you please do it and see what she says?
Just wear them out to dinner one night. Yeah, I will. Actually, summertime's the best time. Just wear them with flip flops. I'm
Some
not
thongs.
willing to say I've not been out in public in them before. Like I've probably gone to like Balo in them.
Yeah, probably Walmart.
Definitely Walmart. But I've also been out in much worse, so that doesn't really worry me.
I just love this picture. You're in another shirt with another man. And you're in 3/4 pants.
It was like a 5XL. You're not gonna try and get that shirt with another man.
So you have half a shirt and then
That's not the
3/4
only.
pants.
That's not the only shirt I've been in with another man. Actually, done that before. I think the other one was like a 5XL. That one I think was like a 3 or 4X. That one really wasn't.
Whose shirt was it? Chad's?
It wasn't Chad. It was Chad's, but it wasn't his.
It was
He
too
had,
big for him too.
way too big, which is where we got the idea.
Oh, okay.
I was like, a Brody and a Caleb could easily fit in this shirt. And we did. We were right.
That's awesome.
I'm not sleeping 3/4 pants tonight. We'll see.
Dude, I forgot all about them, and we were at dinner, and Mandy was like, "You remember those pants that Caleb used to wear?" I was like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "The one where they weren't pants and they weren't shorts." And I just started dying laughing.
I mean, here's my question. Baseball players wear them every day. Why can't I?
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a great point, actually. Dude, I feel like you got to wear the socks, though.
No, I'm good. The stirrups?
Yeah.
I'm good. Pass. Who's this guy think he is? The freaking Yankees?
There you go. Yeah.
That's what I would say to someone if they wore that and I saw it.
Just pinstripe. You should get pinstripe pants. Pinstripe 3/4 pants.
I look good in pinstripe pants.
That's all I got, man. Do you got any more fails?
I thought I had one, but I don't know. Let me see. Oh, dude, that article. Like, I'm not hating on The Athletic. They do a great job. But that article that was like, let's interview high school coaches and see what they have to say bad about Jeremy Pruitt. Like, it comes out every single time a coach is fired. And I said that when Bush Jones and Jeremy Pruitt were fired. I was like, can't wait to see what comes out now.
Yeah. It's like they're not going to say anything good about him.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like everything that you read that they're like, yeah, I'll be quoted anonymously. Like, okay, so I know you're probably not telling the entire truth.
Right. And when he came in, you were buddies with, you probably took a picture with him at your school. Yeah. Nah.
And I get if you're like, Jeremy Pruitt doesn't show up, okay. But like, why didn't you say that 6 months ago?
Right. Yeah. Why is it just coming out? Yeah.
Also, I hate the high school coaches that are like, I'm not sending my guy to that program. What if it's the only opportunity he has? You're not sending him? Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, if Tennessee's the only Power 5 offer he gets, you're not going to let him go there.
Yeah.
Also, like, what say do you actually have?
Right.
I mean,
that's another thing, too.
Yeah. Whatever. And you're not going to let another Tennessee coach in the door? That's what someone – I don't want Tennessee to come back. Yeah.
And it's interesting, too. Like, there really wasn't a ton of, like, overly positive guys about Josh Heupel. Like, one guy that was like, I know him really well. I used to work with him. You know, it's a great – that was, like, the biggest compliment he received. Besides, I think it was
from a high school coach?
Yeah.
Okay, so they talked about Josh Heupel too?
They talked about Heupel, and then they talked about
at Tennessee or like –
Yeah. And, like, the new staff at Vanderbilt. Like, they were just like, what's your sense for how they're recruiting right now? Like, maybe
they probably haven't really been, like, in the schools yet.
No, and it was really more of just the talk of, like, the communication aspect of it and, like, what they're hearing from other coaches and, like, stuff like that. So – and then, like, what their players are hearing from the staff, like how the staff's communicated with them up to this point. So it really wasn't like they could only say so much, but it was like, I feel like by this point because this comes out every time there's a new coach, it's usually like, oh, you know, Tennessee's got a great one and they're going to, you know.
Yeah. I mean, he's
like, changing how they're recruiting the state and blah, blah, blah. But
if college coaches really can't look at a high school coach as your main opinion on a kid. Because, I mean,
no,
obviously they're going to be like, oh, yeah, great kid, great grades. Like, I mean, what coach is going to downplay a student athlete? They're not.
The best ones.
So, I mean, like, they're going to get a lot of false, oh, yeah, he's great in the classroom, great family. It's just like, number one, you probably don't even really know his family. Number two, there's no way all your players on this team are great student athletes.
Right. Yeah. No, it's it was pretty much just like they went around and interviewed like 8 different coaches, and they asked them their thoughts on
Was
Mason
in-state coaches?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure only in state. Pruitt, Mason, the new Vanderbilt staff, and the new Tennessee staff. So yeah, it's just like you can only whatever.
And obviously they have to have like big. It has to be schools with like actual.
Well, and some of the guys were even like, when Pruitt was here, or when like Butch was here, I didn't really have anyone that Tennessee could come in and recruit. I had a couple during the last staff, so like I can't compare. I'm like stuff like that. So it didn't sound like they just went out and interviewed like, God, what's the place in Middle Tennessee?
Innsworth?
Nashville. Innsworth. It wasn't like from what I could tell, maybe Innsworth's coach wasn't a part of it. Like someone that's just sending them all over the country to every coach.
Yeah, Brentwood Academy. And
yeah. So, I don't know. I'll send you the article later on if I'll probably have to screenshot it, but
yeah, that's interesting because like how do you really have an opinion on Josh Heupel and even like Vanderbilt's new staff? Like they haven't really been in the schools, so like how much contact do you really have with a coach?
Yeah, no, that was pretty much what they said. So, yeah,
cool.
Yep. All right, guys. Well, we appreciate y'all listening in. We'll be back Thursday night. Talk a little, continue our position preview. Talk some more sports. At that point, we will just be 6 days away, however you want to look at it, from Tennessee football being kicked off, and we're getting there.
Yeah, we're getting close to being like a previewing a game.
Yeah.
Yes, that
like actual previews. We've talked about
next Wednesday will be we'll preview Bowling Green.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Can't wait.
I'm excited, guys. It's getting close. It's getting exciting. I'm getting nervous. Butterflies. Do like Caleb did. Start practicing.
Exactly. You got to.
Start it off right. Get the right mindset going. Guys, that's all we got. Thanks for listening. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.